All right, let's dive into something that's honestly the secret backbone of so many huge companies, Oracle Integration Cloud, or OIC for short. If you've ever wondered how massive organizations get all their different mismatched software to actually talk to each other, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's pull back the curtain and see how it all works. So let's just start with a question that gets right to the heart of the problem. Are your business applications speaking the same language? I mean, think about it. You've probably got Salesforce running your customer data, some big ERP for finance, maybe a totally separate system for HR, but are they actually working together? Or is it more like a digital Tower of Babel where nothing communicates?
For most businesses, let's be real, the answer is a big no. And what you get is this mess of disconnected data silos. This means people are manually entering data in two different places, you've got duplicate information everywhere, and it just creates a ton of inefficiency. You know, when your sales team can't see the latest financial data, or HR can't automatically push a new hire into the payroll system, that costs you. Big time. And that is the exact problem we're here to solve today.
And this is where Oracle Integration Cloud comes into the picture. Honestly, the absolute best way to think about OIC is as a universal translator for all of your business software. It's the central hub, the switchboard that connects everything, letting all those different applications share data and kick off processes like it's no big deal. So let's get official for a second. OIC is what the industry calls an iPaaS. That's just a fancy term for Integration Platform as a Service. But the words you really need to focus on here are connect, automate, and low code. Because it's a cloud service, you don't have to worry about managing any hardware. And the low code part? That's huge. It means you can build these powerful connections visually, really fast, without needing a whole army of specialized developers. It's all about moving quickly.
So what's actually under the hood? Well, as you can see, it's not just one thing. At its very core, you've got application integration. That's for connecting your systems. But on top of that, it's also a platform for process automation, for building complex workflows, visual app building for creating custom little apps, and it even gives you real-time analytics so you can see exactly how everything is running. It's the whole shebang.
All right, so we know what it is, but how does this universal translator actually will translate? Let's zoom in and look inside the integration engine itself. It really just boils down to 4 essential building blocks that you snap together to create your workflows.
Now this table. This is where it all clicks into place. First, you have the integration itself. Just think of that as your overall blueprint, the flow you're trying to build. Now to connect to anything, you use an adapter. It's just a pre-built connector for a specific application, like Salesforce or SAP. Then you take that adapter and you plug in your specific login details, your username, your password, and boom, that becomes a connection. And finally, the mapper. Oh, the mapper is where the magic happens. It's a visual tool where you literally draw lines between fields to tell OIC, hey, this field called cust_name over here, it needs to become customer name over there. It's that simple.
Now, I know that might sound a little technical when you lay it out in a table, but in practice, it's incredibly visual. So let's move away from the concepts for a second and see what this looks like when you're building your very first simple integration.
And this right here, this is that low-code promise in action. It really is this straightforward. Step 1, you create your connections. You're basically just plugging into your apps. Then you literally drag those connections onto a visual canvas to lay out the workflow. Step 3 is that mapper we just talked about. You draw the lines to connect the data. And finally, you just flick a switch to activate it and run a test. It's a super logical and honestly kind of fun process.
Okay, building a hello world flow is cool and all, but let's get back to the real world. What does this actually mean for a business? What can you do with OIC that actually moves the needle?
This is where the power becomes really obvious. You can synchronize all your customer data between your CRM and your financial ERP in real time. No more spreadsheets. You could completely automate the HR process from the moment a candidate applies all the way to them being added to payroll and getting their laptop ordered. Or connect your e-commerce store directly to your supply chain. The main point here is that OIC is built to handle these complex, high-value business processes that stretch across multiple departments. So as we wrap up this quick tour, what's the one single most important thing to remember about Oracle Integration Cloud? What's the key takeaway? It's this right here. OIC is the engine that takes all of your separate, disconnected applications and transforms them into a single, unified, automated machine for running your business. It bridges the gaps and finally makes your technology work for you, not the other way around. And that leaves us with one final thought. Now that you understand this core idea of connecting apps and automating workflows visually,
What's the first process in your world that pops into your head? Is it something in sales, HR, finance? That annoying report you have to build every week? The possibilities, as you can probably tell, are pretty vast. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.